Toast! You returned from the dead.
And yet we continue to let these weapons be sold to people with no training or expertise. Case in point, America has the finest fighting force in the world. We provide our service members with the most lethal weapons on earth to protect America. We also require them to receive significant training before they're allowed to use these weapons. We require extensive background checks on them and mental health assessments on them. We require that they learn how to lock up and store these weapons responsibly. We require our military to do all that. These are common sense requirements, but we don't require the same common sense measures for a stranger walking into a gun store to purchase an AR-15 or some weapon like that. It makes no sense. Assault weapons need to be banned. They were banned. I led the fight in 1994. Then under pressure from the NRA and the gun manufacturers and others, that ban was lifted in 2004. In that 10 years it was law, mass shootings went down. When the law expired in 2004 and those weapons were allowed to be sold again, mass shootings tripled. They're the facts. I'm determined to ban these weapons again and high-capacity magazines that hold 30 rounds and to let mass shooters fire hundreds of bullets in a matter of minutes. I'm not going to stop until we do it. Here's another thing we should do. We should have safe storage laws requiring personal liability for not locking up your gun. The shooter in Sandy Hook came from a home full of guns and assault weapons that were too easy to access. Weapons he used to kill his mother and then murder 26 people, including 20 innocent first graders. If you own a weapon, you have a responsibility to secure it and keep it under lock and key. Responsible gun owners agree. No one else should have access to it, so lock it up. Have trigger locks. And if you don't, and something bad happens, you should be held responsible. Expanded background checks are something that the vast majority of Americans, including the majority of gun owners, agree on. My fellow Americans, none of what I'm talking about infringes on anyone's Second Amendment rights. I've said it many times. I support the Second Amendment.
If my brother hadn't have vouched for you, you'd be fucking dead.
Children in the United States of America, let me say it again. Guns are the #1 killer of children in the United States. More than car accidents, more than cancer. And over the last 2 decades, more high school children have died from gunshots than on-duty police officers and active-duty military combined. Think of that. Then we can't just stand by. We can't let it happen any longer. With rights come responsibilities.
Well, no.
Yes, there's a right to bear arms, but we also have a right to live freely, without fear for our lives, in a grocery store, in a classroom, in a playground, at a house of worship, in a store, at a workplace, a nightclub, a festival.
Are you mad?
In our neighborhoods, in our streets. The right to bear arms is not an absolute right that dominates all others. The perennial price for living in a community with others as being neighbors, of being fellow citizens, is that we obey the laws and customs that ensure that what the framers call domestic tranquility. That's what civilization is. That's what we have been at our best. That's what America must always be. A place where we preserve the rights, but fulfill our responsibilities. I know this. There can be no greater responsibility.
Fuck your face, yeah?
When I spoke to the nation after Uvalde, I shared how a grandmother who had lost her granddaughter gave me and Jill a handwritten letter. We spent 4 hours, almost 5 hours with them. And I read it. It reads, quote, "Erase the invisible line that is dividing our nation. To come up with a solution and fix what is broken."
Yes, I know. I've heard you, but that's your problem, right? That's your problem, not mine.
"And to make the changes that are necessary to prevent this from happening again," end of quote. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Today I want to thank those in Congress, both Democrat and Republicans, who erased that invisible line dividing our nation and moved us forward on gun safety. It's an important step, but now we must look forward. We have so much more work to do. And I might add, there's $75 million in there for mental health reasons, a whole range of other things I'm not going to take time to go into today, but it's important.
So you work for me, Ron Cray, will fetch me my £50,000. Yeah.
May God bless all of us with the strength to finish the work left undone. And on behalf of the lives we've lost and the lives we can save, may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
We're talking about earning a living, you know? We're talking about being gangsters, right? Which is what we are. So you can just fuck off. Hey, where are you going?